In this video, we are going to learn how to detail reinforced concrete columns just like this when raft on beam foundation is being used for a structure with the help of PROTEK Company Detailing Template. Alright, so if I zoom closely to the details, you will notice that I have column type 1 and I also have G beam 1, which section is 250 by 1300 millimeter successfully. Before we make progress into the lesson, I want to ask you to like the lesson, and if you are yet to subscribe to the channel, kindly subscribe successfully for more advanced lesson of this kind. And so this is the section of the ground beam. You can see the depth of the ground beam is 1300 millimeter. The width is 250 millimeter successfully, while the unreducing here is the blinding. Okay, there must be a blinding before you have a biscuit, and then you start to lay your reinforcement successfully. Okay, and so the column is being detailed up to first floor. All right, I want to be taking you to the Protastructure model where we actually exported this, or where we actually imported these details successfully. And so here is the model. Okay, in this model, this is a raft on beam foundation. Okay, up to the first, second, and a 10th floor. All right, but we only consider, and we are going to be considering the foundation level and up to the first floor level. In the previous lesson, we were able to edit this first floor beam successfully. The depth of the foundation beam is 1300, while the width is 250. And so this foundation, this structure was actually exported to PROTEK Detail to generate the detail. Okay, and we consider only the foundations up to first floor level details. All right, and so these details was later exported from PROTEK Detail to AutoCAD, and from AutoCAD we transfer it to PROTEK Company Detailing Template to automatically make some adjustments and detail, as well as editing the major part of the details drawings exported from Protastructure successfully, which I want us to take a little time and go through the benefit of this PROTEK Company Detailing Template. So here is the reinforced concrete drawing in AutoCAD, just like this. Okay, and so if I zoom closely to the drawing, you can see the way they looks. All right, and then we are going to be taking this drawing now to the PROTEK Company drawing template, this template now. All right, and then we see the changes that will be made to this drawing successfully, and it will help us to reduce workload of editing up to 90% workload reductions of editing of this drawing. So at first, I want to highlight all of this drawing just like this. So what I get them highlight like this, I will right click, all right, and then I will on that clipboard, I click on copy right there. After I got it copied successfully, I will navigate to the PROTEK Company drawing template. All right, as I said earlier, these companies affiliate with Protastructure companies, and then they were able to develop this particular template for ease of editing of Protastructure reinforced concrete drawing. And so I want to be pasting this right away, so I will right click and then click on paste. Okay, and so once I click like this, you can see the changes that have been made successfully to the drawing. You can see, so the drawing has been automatically, edited successfully. All right, so you can see, look at the way the drawing is here in the template. Now if you come over to this particular tab, you can see the way the drawing is here, the difference between that and this. All the text has been edited successfully. All right, and then for this particular the dimensions, line and text, the adjustment has been made successfully. But if you are not comfortable with this color, what you just have to do is you just have to do Ctrl+1 so as to bring up the property dialog. Okay, So once you bring out the property dialog, just like this, just select only one of these layer. All right, right click. Then in the drop down menu, you will get to this quick select. All right, you can see quick select, this one. You just have to use quick select, or you just use select similar. All right, you can use any of these, or just choose select similar, so that all of these layers will be selected successfully, just like this. So when they are selected, come to the property dialog. You see this color now, you have to now edit it and change it to by layer. All right, so once you change this to by layer, you will navigate towards this provision where you have the extend line color, and then you select in the drop down menu, pick by layer as well. And also for the text, we also consider by layer. All right, just like this. So if you check very well, all the dimensions have been edited successfully. So look at the way they are now. All right, so everything has been edited and adjusted. All right, and so we proceed. Some other benefit of this template is there are other works being done by this company. As you can see, this is a Raft on beam foundations, and this is also the sections of the ground beam. As you can see it here, just like this, being detailed, all right, successfully like this. Okay, as well as the GA of ground beam, which is the general arrangement of ground beam, just like this, and as well as the sections. Okay, in this template you also found a detailed ROC of ground floor slab. Okay, detailed ROC of ground floor slab, just like this, and its sections. You will also found so many other useful details that you can use for your daily designs works successfully. When you come to these provisions, you have a columns template just like this that you can use. This is basically for a pad footings, and also we have this for our strip footings, just like this. Okay, so all of this comes alongside with this template successfully. In the previous lesson, we were able to use this template to edit this beam successfully. Okay, just like this. And so the description, the link in the description will help you to obtain this template successfully. Just click on the link and download this template so that you can follow us up as we proceed subsequently. Alright, so we make progress into the business of the day. We are going to be presenting the details of reinforced concrete columns when Raft on beam foundations is being used on a structure, just like the structure or the model I showed us not too long in Protastructure. So here is the Raft beam. Okay, this is the Raft beam, or you can call it foundation beam. You can also call it ground beam. Okay, and it is up to 1.3 meter height. All right, so if you check very well, you will notice that we also have a starter bars. Okay, and if you also check very well, we have a bar span line just like this that represents a 8 number of Y16 bars, which the sections actually explain it here for us. And intermediate bars. Okay, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's why we have 2 by 4 T16. All right, so if you come over here, we also have the depth of the raft, okay, which is 180 millimeter successfully. All right, and then the links used here is Y10 successfully. For the top reinforcement, you have T20, and then the bottom reinforcement, you also have T20 successfully. This 5 you see here is the bar mark. Okay, and so for you to be able to carry out this editing just like this effectively, you will need this PROTEK Company template. That is why I'll leave the link in the description of this video, where you can just click and get this template download successfully. Alright, so if I should come over here, you can see the ground beam, how it looks. Alright, so you have this ground beam just like this being imported from Protastructure successfully. Then you need to carry out some work on it. Some work on it, like the arrangement of the labeling of the ground beam successfully. The labeling of the ground beam is supposed to be a single. In this case, it is a continuous ground beam. And so you have to relabel this FB40, FB39, and the rest of that is supposed to be a single labeling. Okay, which is what I have done here. So with this template, you just have to come over to these provisions. There are ground beams here. You copy one of these ground beams and its sections, take it over to this provision. Take it over to this provision where you have the ground beam you imported from Protastructure. And then with the help of that ground beam, you will be able to edit this new one successfully. Okay? And so once you are able to edit it just like this, okay? Just like this. You will also proceed to identify this beam on the ground beam layout. So over here, I have a ground beam layout here. This is my ground beam layout. And so for me to identify this beam on the ground beam layout, I will have to check the axis of this beam, the axis in which this beam lies, okay? So this beam actually lies along the axis A1, all right? So I'll have to go and look for a green line A1 to be able to find this beam successfully. So if I should go to the ground beam layout, and then I check, see, this is A1, this green line A1, the beam is on the green line. So if I should zoom closely, you can see G beam 1, okay, 250 by 1300 millimeter sections, all right? So here is the beam, and then the column that we detail here is this particular column, this one, all right? So if you come closely, you can see the column takes almost the center of the G beam, and also along the G beam you can see a felt line, this line and this one, okay? There is a purpose for these two lines. These two lines is actually telling you that there is an incoming beam, okay, that is being anchored in these particular provisions. And so if we go back to the beam layout, the ground beam layout on this axis A1, you check it very well. You notice that this is the incoming beam, this one, okay, this two beam line, okay, anchored to this major beam here, all right? So that is why you have to leave this line felt so that it can be interpretable, all right? So after which you have to now cut as sections just like this. Once you cut as sections like this, okay, you will be having the number of rebars in the section successfully, just like this, okay? So for me to make these provisions to be more visible, I have to explode it here so you can see it very well, just like this, okay? So if you want to proceed to generating this type of column details, what you need to do is to get your ground beam edited like this, referencing the PROTEK Company Detailing ground beam, all right? You come over to these provisions just like this, okay? You can decide to highlight this particular ground beam just like this, and then CO on the keyboard, enter to get it copied, all right? Take it back to where you have these beams, and then you place it just like this, okay? So you will be referencing this beam now to be able to edit this one effectively. So you are not only going to copy the beam elevations, but you will also copy the section of the beam successfully. So the section of this beam here is this one, all right? So you just have to highlight this particular sections, okay? Or you can confirm that you can see 16 right there. If you come over here, you also see section 16. So CO on the keyboard, enter to copy these sections as well. So you have to bring it over to this beam and then place it close to this beam, and you can see the depth of this ground beam is 1200 millimeter, but the depth of the ground beam we are going to edit is what? Is 1200 millimeter. So having this beam here, now what you just need to do is you reference this beam to be able to edit this one successfully, okay? That is why you need this template. And so check in the description of this video and get this template download successfully. So after you must have edited the beam successfully, just like this, you can see this one, okay? You get this edited just like this, okay? What you just need to do for you to now add the columns in these provisions, you have to first of all remove this particular axis box, okay? E on the keyboard to erase that. Then extend this line upward, just like this. Okay. After you must have done this, what you just need to do, in order for you to minimize the rate of work, is to just go back to the PROTEK Company Detail Template columns. This one, or any of this column right here. Get all of this column like this, highlight it just like this. Okay. And then come down to the foundation level and also highlight this column up to this point, just like this. Okay. This other side is not highlighted, just get it highlighted just like this. Alright, so after which you will key in CO on the keyboard, enter for copy, and then pick a point on the highlighted columns. For instance, I'll pick this point, click right there, then take this column to the beams, alright, that you want to edit successfully. It is coming in contact with this existing one that I have edited successfully. So for that reason, I will place it outside here. Okay. Then I will now copy this beam. Click on copy right there on the modify panel. Pick this point and take this beam over here. Zoom closely, and then you will be able to place this beam over these provisions. Just like this, click to place that, and then you escape. So once you placed it like this, you will be having something of this kind. Okay, so this as well need an adjustment. So you just have to remove these details. Click on remove and copy this away, alright, or move it away a little bit. Then I like this again. I like all of these columns, lines again, just like this. Okay, including this one. And then be able to also highlight the links just like this. So after you get all of this highlighted, you are going to move this upward. And for you to do that effectively, you will need not to highlight these returns. Okay, so you are only to highlight these rebars, this one and this one, including the links, just like this. Highlight this one as well and this. After which you will have to click on move or M on the keyboard. Enter to move this up. So pick that point and take it up to these provisions. Make sure you activate your auto so you have a straight line just like this, and place this here. So you can see the way it now looks. Okay. So after which you can now be able to use trim to trim all of this out. Okay, trim this up as well. Then this link just like this. Alright, so you will be having something of this kind. So for this particular bar, you just have to delete that. Alright. So after you must have gotten something of this kind, what you now need to do, since you wouldn't want to have the entire full length of the beams, okay, you really want to have the entire full length of these beams, you will have to cut the beams, okay, sideways. But by then, I want to remove these lines because I don't need these lines, and as well, you wouldn't need these lines anymore. So E on the keyboard to delete those lines just like this, okay. After which, you pick a line found on the draw panel, okay, and then you'll be able to draw a line over here. The purpose of this line is because we want to cut some part of the beam out. So we also draw a line also over this provision just like this. Activate a line again by entering on the keyboard. Pick this point and draw a line just like this as well. Pick a line 2 and also draw another line just like this. Then T arrow for trim on the keyboard. Enter on the keyboard and then be able to trim this up just like this. Just like this. Okay. Alright. So this time around we wouldn't need these dimensions again because we are trying to present the columns. So we get the dimensions selected just like this. E on the keyboard for erase and enter to get those dimensions off. T arrow on the keyboard for trim, enter to trim all of these provisions off. Alright, so we have successfully separated some part of the beam from the main one that is connected to the column for our presentation drawing. After which, you have to also work with, cancel this please, you have to also work with the sections. So align these sections and then move it to these directions. Also align these sections and move as well to these directions or these provisions, just like this, meaning this is cutting across these particular provisions, and then you are having this as the sections 2 to 2, okay, under grid line A1. So you can see it here. This time around you cannot be able to delete all of this, but by then you will have to copy this bottom bar, okay, this bottom bar labels, or you move it, and on the keyboard enter, you move it from these positions to these particular positions. You can just place it somewhere here, align this again, and then you will be able to move it, and on the keyboard to move it to this provision like this. Then align the leader line, click in these provisions, move your hand so as to extend it downward. It is still alighted, place your cursor here, click and extend it this way. Alright, so it will actually call this particular label successfully. After which, highlight all of this side of the beam, E on the keyboard to erase it, enter to get that off, just like that. The same thing applicable to these provisions. You will have to move this, okay? This is a rebar span line. It is telling us that this rebar, this one that is being selected, is spanning from this point to this point, which is the 2 by 4 T16 we are having here. Alright, so what we need to do is we get all of this aligned, and then we will have to move it by typing M on the keyboard, enter, and then you will move it to this particular provisions. I'm not supposed to move it alongside with the rebar, so I will have to escape on the keyboard and then do the selection again, just like this. Alright, move it again, M on the keyboard, enter, take it to this particular provisions. I will want it here, so I'll click to have it there. It is actually having contact with this existing one, so I will have to move this rebar span line downward, just like this, and then move the text. Alright, M on the keyboard and move it closer. Alright, so it can be readable successfully. So I will have something of this kind. Alright, so after which, since we are editing from our PROTEK Company Detailing Template, you will also have to reference the column that you imported from Protastructure successfully. But before that, let us remove this particular line. Okay, this is telling us the height of the first floor. Alright, so we want to remove all of this one, so you get this highlighted just like this. E on the keyboard, enter to erase that. Remove also this line and this label. We don't have need. E on the keyboard, enter. Alright, just like this. Then you have to now move these sections very close to the foundation beam like this. Okay, now the next thing is to reference the columns details imported from Protastructure. So here is the column details imported from Protastructure. So if you check the column details, you notice that the number of rebars, okay, we have is 4. You can see 1, 2, 3, 4. So you have to now get back to the editing that you are doing. Okay, if you check in the editing, the section they have here is 225 by 300, and the number of columns here is what? Is 6. So we are having only 2, so we have to now delete 2 just like this, and then remove all these bar marks successfully to have this. After which we will have to increase this from 250, from 225 to 250, just like this. Okay, so this is the editing process, and this is how the PROTEK Company templates actually help us again after it must have adjusted and edited all our text automatically. Alright, so since we are considering from the foundation level to the first floor level, okay, we will need to cut these columns, alright, from these provisions, and then show a continuations line. Mind you, we are supposed to have a continuation line here, so you can pick line found on the draw panel right there. Okay, for us to show a continuation line, you can just do a line in these directions, just like this. Alright, telling you that this foundation beam is continuing towards the left. Alright, so we will do trim TR on the keyboard, enter, and then be able to trim this space off so you have something of this kind. Alright, you can also delete this line in that provisions. I like this one that you have already created, just like this. CO to copy that, enter on the keyboard, pick that point, and then take it to this other side and place it just like this. Okay. So after you must have done this, the next thing we will be doing is to cut these columns from this provision, since we are considering only first floor, and here is the first floor. So you can also come to this provision, double click right there, and then change this place to FFL, which is first floor level. Alright, and it is 3000 millimeter. Alright, so after which pick a line on the draw panel and then be able to cut these provisions just like this, and as well cut these other provisions just like this. After you must have done with this, you do trim the arrow on the keyboard, and then you'll be able to trim this up. Okay, after you must have trimmed that up, from this point now upwards, you will have to just E on the keyboard after getting that dimension selected, and then you delete that. So you also have to delete this. Alright, just like this. Okay, and then you will do a continuation line right here. Okay, just like this. You do T arrow to trim that off, just like this. Okay, alright, so the editing process still continue. Alright, so after you must have done all of this, you just have to move this. You just have to move the G bin, the label to these provisions, and then for this column we are considering is column type 1. So you can just select the existing labels, and then you copy that up. Double click on the label to get it edited. Select and then highlight all of it, and then key in on the keyboard as column type 1, just like this. Okay, alright, so after which the editing still continue. We will be providing a kind of a blinding. Alright, a blinding of thickness 100. Okay, so for us to do that effectively, we may want to shift this downward, and then as well move the text. Alright, this go downward a little. Now highlight just like this, so you can have provisions for columns. After which I will right click offset, navigate to find. Okay, so in this provision I will offset a blending thickness of what I have copied. So just this, and then I will CT1. Just click on this line, this one. Once you just like find, okay, it's going to actually the next step will be applicable to this particular provision. Find it, but this is a polyline. Expand this. You have to explode the polyline. Expand this so as to and then have the offset on this list result 100. Right, offset it. It is actually showing us, and then only EX enter to extend this point to touch right. So after which you can now click on able to use close actions to close this dialog. Right there. Right, so we want to also do that using this one, pick select that, and then to be able to select in these provisions just like this. So get at a hash. So this is used to represent our blinding. Okay, we are using this to represent our blinding. Okay, so this is how it's been done successfully. So if you get this template, I believe with the help of this other details, you can be able to get this column done. But with this, we have carried out up to 95% of the detailing. Just what you need to do is to just continue to copy from the existing template. What we have here, this is the links at the foundation level, so you just have to copy it right there, just like this. Okay, hit on the copy, pick it right there, and then take it to these provisions. Place it there because we use this line to count the links. All right. And also for the starter bar, you can also copy it from here, just like this. This template has helped you. You wouldn't even have to be creating anything on your own. There are a lot of details being created that you can just use at ease. So this is just like this. Okay, and this is showing 6. It's not supposed to show 6. And also if you see this particular bars, it is showing an intermediate bar, this one, which is not also supposed to show because we are having only 4 bars in the sections right here and not 6 bars. So you have to edit the intermediate bar line, okay, just like this. After which you come to this provisions, edit it. It's supposed to be 4T16, so you key in 4 right there. Also in this provisions, supposed to be 4T16, key in 4. So this is how you get your columns edited in respect to raft on beam foundations. Okay, so this is explained effectively. If you have any questions, you can drop it at the comment sections, and don't forget to get this template, so in the subsequent lesson we will actually make progress effectively. And so after I must have done this is basically for column type 1. You will have to go to the column layout, column and beam layout, and then you can see CT1, which is column type 1. You need to get the total number of CT1. Okay, so for us to get the total number of CT1, all right, what you just need to do, you can see the column name. You use a command we call found and replaced. So having getting the name, just double click on one of the name, just like this, right click, and then click on copy. All right, we have copied all of this beam layout, beam and column layout selected like this. Right click again, come to find. Okay, we already have CT1 there. Click on find. So once you click on find, you can see the number that matches is 36, matches found. Okay, so click on okay. So with this you will be able to understand and know the number of CT1, which is 36. Just click on done right there. So that is what we actually looks for, the number of CT1. So you now come to where you have your edited column. All right, pick this text. Okay, CO, enter to copy that downward a little bit. Okay, double click on it right there, and then you are going to be editing this as in respect to the number of this kind of columns. All right, so it's going to be 36. Okay, 36 number, just like this, tossed. Okay, so this is how you present your column, just like this. So only this column, you have 36 of it in the structure. All right, so I want to also urge you to do well to get this template, and so in the next lesson we will make progress effectively. All right, so we want to bring the lesson to a stop here as we will proceed in the next lesson. If you have any question, drop it at the comment sections, or if you have anything that is bothering you on this editing process, you can also reach to me, okay, at my telegram handle successfully, and we will make progress. See you in the next lesson, and bye for now.